Okay, hi friends, my name is Rizaleke. So, on my today video presentation to all of you, my YouTube tutor followers in my channel. So, in my today's presentation, I have some kind of presentation, especially in the ET tools. So, ET tools is nothing which is the electrician or electronic diagnosis tool. So, what does it mean by electronic diagnosis tool? So, electronic diagnosis tool are nowadays is a very advantageous in so many electronic devices. So once that devices are manufactured by the manufacturing company, and after a long for service time, that machines are as you know that a man-made features have its own working durability. So after finishing the working hour durability, that machine appeared exposed for a failure. So during the time of failure, so we are using those ET tools in order to diagnose, in order to fix a certain problem. Assume that in the given machine or the given system was exposed for such kind of obstacles. So those ET tools are especially very important nowadays for so many electronic devices. So not only by the way for electronic devices, that is working for a synergetic combinations of devices. Let's say as I give you an example, let me give you one example. Let's take a generator. So a huge industrial generator, it's have output power is in a 1000 kVA kilovolt ampere. So that heavy industrial generator may be exposed for a failure. So during that time, the technique persons or the managers or technical managers or technicians or service technicians are came to that machine, and they may take a very long period of troubleshooting mechanism. So in order to identify, in order to guide, in order to inform what systems are failed in that particular system. So during that time, that technician or that manager or that engineer have that kind of tools. It may simple life, or and also it may save the unexpected times that was wasted during the fault diagnosis, the manual fault diagnosis mechanism. So once we are connected, we must connect our diagnosis tool with that kind of machine. Maybe generator have a mechanical component, engine, the electrical component, alternator, and the monitoring component, what we call it a modulator or a display board. So there are three ECMs or electronic control modulator. So that electronic control monitor or electronic control module have its own feature. So we're monitoring the ECM, engine ECM and the alternator ECM. So engine have its own mega feature. Alternator is one kind of it's an electrical parameter. The modulator area is in a user interface area. So those three areas are linked by this ET tool, and we are able to check out by filtering that problem in the entire system. Our life was easily eased, and we are directly use that system in order to achieve the final goal. So during that time, once let's say the ECM is obtained or the ECM is loaded once, there are several features. Let's say in this case, I'm taking as the cat tool. So this cat is a Caterpillar company. So Caterpillar company have its own features. So let's say the Caterpillar loader or Caterpillar excavator or Caterpillar wheel excavator, or maybe a caterpillar generator. So once the ECM is connected, we have access to look the following parameters. The first one is the status parameter display. So the status parameter, which parameter is linked with which one. So which was always displayed in the computer desktop displaying board. The next thing is in a diagnostic test and calibration. So a diagnostic test and calibration mechanism is also taken with this tool. ET tool have, by the way, 3 or 4 the most important components. The first one is user interface, a personal computer here. Personal computer here is in a communication adapter. This communication adapter is in an interfacing device in between the personal computer and the machine internal kinematics. So the another thing are the harness and the connectors are this connector is in between the machine and this adapter. The next one is which is connected with the adapter with a personal computer. The other one is the interrelation or the interlinkage between the adapter and the computer, and also adapter with adapter. So these specific components are, by the way, the most important thing in order to perform such kind of functions in the machine. So once we are connected our system with the machine, our ECM is obtained once and we are able to look those all parameters in a single desktop here. So the status parameter display is also observed in here. The diagnostic test and the calibration mechanism is also taken by this. Also, the disassembly and the assembly instruction. So the assembling and disassembling instruction means maybe the thermostat or temperature sensor of a given engine assembling and disassembling instruction is also displayed in the monitoring device. The machine total retrieval means the machine total retrieval period is also displayed in the personal computer, or in other sense we call it a monitor. And also the active diagnostic code being capability. So active diagnostic code means that the current problems, especially the current problems which are happen in a given system, are also displayed in that displaying board or desktop. So disassembling and assembling instructions are also available in that board. So it's, by the way, it's very important thing in order to save our time, in order to make flexible the user interface with that machine, and also which is very profitable in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of human resource. So resources are nowadays are used with that systems in a very manageable form. So those electrical or electrician diagnosis tool or diagnosis tool in general have their own versatile advantage. So from those advantages I mentioned in the slide number 1 and the slide number 2. So the last and the very important thing is a log diagnostic code being and the clearing capability. So the log diagnostic code are being. So once you are able to see the log diagnostic code and clear out those all capabilities from that system. So once the electron control modulator configuration and manipulation, so you are able to manipulate or you are able to control those module ECM as well. So the last and the very important thing is you are able to gather information about that machine. So once you are connected, you may connect the machine with your software installed personal computer, and this diagnostic items here. You got a full information. So in slide number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, I mentioned the very detailed information about those ET tools. So ET tools are once connected with the machine. So that ECM is loaded from that system, which means ECMs are loaded, so electronic control modulator. So that modulator and units are connected once, which is loaded and obtained once. That may tell you detailed information about that machine. So which is why I call it a machine information recording. So the machine information was recorded by the help of this ET tool. So once you are connected with that system, and the system will tell you how you got information about that specific machine. So don't worry, if maybe you may not have information about the physically visible information about a given machine. If ET tools or ET diagnostic material is present or available for a given system, it is possible to obtain detailed information about that given machine. So it is all about physical presentation. Once ECM is loaded from a given system, by the help of that ECM, we got those all information once. So we'll see how we're gonna interface with system with the software. So in the next video presentation, let me tell you about this ET technician's tool. So once you gotta open the Caterpillar electronic technician tool. So what's new in 2020B training rapids, and these are, by the way, these are ET tools. So let's okay, and now so here are the Wimply here enable training version. By the way, first you're gonna open this electronic training version electronic technician tool, the 2020 BV 1.0, and then goes to this file view diagnostics service utility and health. So back to here and enable the training version here. So after obtaining the training version, that may take you to select a machine. So you have to select that machine, and from that machine this software will able to obtain the ECM. So let's find out this wheel tractor scripter. So this wheel tractor scripter have its own system. So its name is 627 H wheel tractor scripter, and description is in a wheel tractor description. So these are air transmission, engine C9, C13, transmission 32H, prime display, implement 627H, and product link 3000. So then, okay, once you select the machine and goes to okay in here, and then after you have able to wait for a certain moment in order to find the ECM. Last time I mentioned to you, once the ECM is loaded, and that ECM will tell you detailed information about that given machine. So now the cat training version is attempting to the machine. So that machine have 7 ECMs, electronic control modulator is detected now. So the computer and that machine system are now connected together, and finally we'll see the display monitoring here. So look, so select one of the following ECMs. So here there are 7 ECMs, by the way. This is C9 627H, C13 620H, Scraper transmission 627H, transmission 627H, implement 627H, product link, and this primary display. So let's let's find the scraper transmission ECM. So generally there are 7 ECMs, by the way, in this particular machine. So once your system is loaded with loaded and find out the ECM from that given machine, you find detailed information, how much ECMs are located and how much ECMs are present in that given machine. So this is in a scraper, which is especially a heavy construction machine. So once I select my transmission ECM and then click OK, now it takes maybe a little bit moment. Now here everything is okay and activated in here. So the very first time, by the way, the only one thing is activated at the top of this caterpillar tool. So now these are the displaying items, by the way. So the available ECMs are those ECMs, and then after the scraper transmission information, so equipment ID is also available in here. Equipment ID, ECM part number, ECM serial number, software group part number, software group release date. So all things are available in here. So that software was released in June 2011. So the software group part number is 3633058-30. Software description is WTS 627H scraper. So these all are, by the way, the information what we got from the system once our system was linked with the personal computer and is a data link here. So here we have active code and active events. Look, so status flag is here 0, no status flag. Event code is 0, active code is 0. So once the product ID and the part number here are the detailed information, by the way. You got a product link, data link, primary display, equipment display, all are, by the way, presented in this system here. So there is no active code, event code, and the status flag is in here. So let's find out the another ECM. So transmission ECM. So in transmission ECM, look here. First of all, you gotta print your document. So print out here the status tool F2. The status tool is, by the way, for this scraper are also available. So it may take a little bit moment. Yeah, look, the status tool, the scraper start control. So the start control here, a value, unit, minimum, maximum, and ECM. So here is shift level position is at the normal condition. This is the transmission ECM. The part number, so actual gear, which is a normal, ignition switch is around, battery value is 28, which means one battery it's able to 12 volts, so 12 yeah, the maximum value of the battery is 28 volts. So the starter relay is off, so we are able to make on. So here another thing, the detailed information about the scraper. So transmission shifting is also here. Transmission shifting, transmission gear status. So the gear status in a transmission gear status, shift level position neutral, requested gear command, actual gear, gear number 1, gear number 2, gear number 3, gear number 4, and gear number 5. So here the values are gear number 5 is grounded, gear number 4 is neutral, gear number 2 so open and grounded. So these are the maximum values, the values of this transmission gear status. Unit, maximum and minimum. ECM is also located in that. Transmission solenoid is here. So solenoid, upshift solenoid, downshift solenoid, synchronization solenoid, and lock